Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? Welcome to Devlog 2 of my fairy dress-up game. In this video, I'm doing some prototyping. I've added in some systems and I wanted to show them off. I did a live stream for a lot of it, which is what you see in the background. Then I did some stuff on my own later in the week. I added things like recoloring objects with a button, some layout work. I got drag and drop to work. It's probably not how it's supposed to work, but I don't care. It does what I want. And tested how I would put clothes on the fairies. I actually learned a lot, and I would like to show off what I got done on the stream, so let's get into it. Alrighty, I'm not sure what I'm doing for the devlog, like if I'm going to put in the stream footage first or not, but I want to show you everything I got. So, this here, these are two different, images in the same object. So both object is color change test. This is important because I want it to be consolidated and easy to find things when I am putting all the content into the game. This is a color changer test, which is just 3 objects, and I can now change colors individually, which is important because let's say I want to change the hair color to blue, and then I want to change something else to green. If I tell it to do green with what I had, it will just do both of them green. Actually, I have a little clip from the live stream I'll just pop in here. So this is the very basic thing we got for this, right? You click on it, that's the sprite, changes that. That's great if it's one object, but you don't want it to change the object. How do I explain this? Okay, let's just go to the camera. I guess I just do it right here. So let's say you have an object. Let's do a circle, and let's do a square. So let's say you want this circle to be pink. So you click on the thing for it to be pink. Let's make it pink. For it to be pink. But you want something else to be green. The way this is set up, if I click on the color pink, it will make both of them pink. So I need it to be that I can change it per item. And I don't want to have a bunch of buttons. So, what I'll probably do, it's an idea anyway. Wait a second. What's this? So, I have an idea. Ooh, I have an even better idea. So what I did to remedy that is we have the same objects, right? So these are all the same object. These are the same 3 sprites. But I gave it a variable called color name item. So we have blue circle, blue square, yellow square, yellow circle, and so on. And this makes it where I can tell it has to be an object with this name, so it'll affect only this object, and I'll show you. Mushroom from the future. I never noticed while I was showing off that blue kept making this square red. So I just want to show that I did notice that and I fixed it really quick. So it does in fact now, do the right color. I did notice later and I fixed it. A crisis has been averted. So now it'll only affect what I tell it to affect. And this is what that code looks like. Color changer is clicked. I gave it the button behavior, and it has to have the parameters of the color name of that is blue circle. And the animation is also the blue circle. And also the animation that we're talking about is the circle. And then this is the tint it changes to. And it just repeats for everything. next one that we have is the putting the clothes onto the fairy. So this is obviously placeholder art. She's beautiful. Love her just the way she is. I can't wait to show my boyfriend this and say, look at her, is she beautiful? Because he's going to laugh. It's going to be great. So this is where I got the idea for that, because I did this first. But this I was very hyped about, because this is the last thing I've done today. So this here, this would be tops, and this would be skirts, which would also be pants. I'll have it like cycle through. But I haven't set this one up yet, but I have set this one up mostly. I can't really finish setting it up until I've added the content, because I want it to be, if it goes -1, it will just set to the number. It's the whole thing, don't worry about it. But this I also did with a name. So button name, tops left, button name tops right, button name skirts left, button name skirts right. So for this, it goes back and forth. Now when I say go backwards, so if you go back, right, now it's on 0 for a variable number that is also being used for the sprite. I'll show you in a second. But if it goes to -0, it's just going to keep going negative numbers. What I want it to do is when it goes -1, it will equal whatever the amount of clothing there is. So let's say you have 15 skirts. Let me just do this on paper. It's easier to like explain on paper. So let's say, I'll do it on the side here of my notes. Let's say you have 15 skirts, right? Ignore my horrible handwriting. If you go to -1, I want it to equal 15, or in this case, it'll probably equal 14 because you have to be off one number. But it'll equal 15, and then it'll go to the final skirt if you go this way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense in my brain. So if you keep going like this, you know, you have to keep clicking until it goes to the proper number. I'll show you the code for this. We're going to get to this in a minute. So we have clothes cycle skirts equals 0. So that is the number, which will also help with the animations later. Equals 0. And if clothes exists equals yes, you delete the skirts and change it to no. And if it equals 1 equals no, it changes it to yes. This is so that way, when you go back to 1, it doesn't create a new skirt. You don't want multiple instances of a skirt because there's really no reason. Plus, if you're gonna cycle through, it's gonna like overlap and look weird. So that's just what that's for. And then if the button name equals this, it will add. And if it's button name equals that, it'll subtract. So that's that. I'm explaining it terribly. I'm very much aware. Then we have drag and drop. So context. GDevelop has a draggable behavior. That was never the problem. Like, that was never the issue. The issue is trying to click and drag and get a new thing to come off of it, and it continuously drags. I have to click, let it spawn, then drag. That's stupid. It's annoying. I hate it. I spent so long on this today, and I have been trying to get this specific method to work since I used GameMaker in 2014. When I say I cried when I got this to work, I am not joking. So this is what I did for it to work. Flower button is focused. Trigger once, so it'll only create one of these, and it will create on top of the button because the button and the image look exactly the same. So flower button is focused, create object, flower drag at that button's position, and then make sure it changes for the proper animation and all that other stuff. and it'll drag and drop. Now, I had an issue where if you kept hovering over the button and going back and forth, it kept creating new instances. And that'll eventually slow the game down, especially if you're like going over things a lot, trying to make like your perfect fairy. So, what I did was I have it so if the cursor is not on the flower button and the left mouse button is not down, which means it won't delete just because I'm not on the thing while I'm dragging it. If both of those things are there, the flower drag is in collision with the flower button, it will delete the flower. So I'm gonna show you through the debugger for this, just to like give you an idea. So I'm going over here. Actually, let me turn this off. Let me show you what it was doing. So toggle disabled, preview, debugger. As you see, flower drag is 0. There are no draggable flowers. Now I'm gonna go over this for a bit, and I'm going to refresh. Now there's 9 because I was hovering over it, and it just keeps creating more instances, and we don't want that. But if I enable this, we go over like this. Just cover back and forth, just like, you know, hang out, let's stay a while, take a load off. There is none. There are still none. But look at that, huh? When I say I am hyped, you don't understand. Oh god, I'm so excited. And also, there should be 6 here. So let's refresh. There are 6. This is a variable I tried for some other thing I tried to do. Because I got this. Let me just enable so you can see it. This kind of worked, but the flower kept going to wherever the button clicked, and instead of doing a new one. So that one didn't really work, but it walked so this one can run. So yeah, I finally have drag and drop. This is a glorious day. This is wonderful. This is a magical time for everyone involved. It's beautiful. I can't believe I got it to work. But yeah, so this is all of the main mechanics, right? So drag and drop will be for, let's say you want to make a flower crown. Let's just pretend that she's bigger. You want to make your own little flower crown. There you go. And then we have this, so that way you can put the clothes on. There's no real necessary reason to drag and drop skirts and shirts. There is no reason to, so that doesn't need drag and drop. Then we have the recoloring, which would be for skin, hair. I was going to do something else. Skin, hair, and I think, let me see. And wings. I was going to do it also for the wings. Now the wings are going to be a little tricky because I wanted to have them not just be pure white. I wanted them to be a little sparkly. So I might have to find a way to change how that works. Actually, let me just put that in here as a note. So let's put a note in. I could probably consolidate some of these notes together, but yeah. So I got a lot done today. I'm gonna ask myself for 4 hours, why am I so tired? This is why. But I am so happy. I am so thrilled with how much I got done. This is monumental. The drag and drop. Bun Bun Bouquets needs drag and drop. I didn't know how to do it. I can do it now. Bun Bun Bouquets will have drag and drop. Oh my goodness. I'm on the verge of tears. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm on the verge of tears. I didn't know how to do it. Alrighty, so I'm going to be switching between these two, but I want to talk through it a little bit. I want to end out this devlog with me working on like visual prototyping, but not actual art. So this here is a sketchbook that is just full of game dev and animatic stuff. So like I made that fuzzy cute animatic in this. I was like picking out Pokemon and stuff. But also I have stuff all the way back from when I was making Pizza Game. Like right here. This is Fluffertini's Pizza Constructor. The first game I ever made in GDevelop. It was a remake of a game I made in Game Maker years earlier. So we're going to sketch some stuff out. Now I've sketched also on my iPad. But sometimes just being on paper is better. Also, I'm on the corner of my desk. This is an awkward angle, but it's alright. So, so the game is actually not super big in scale. It's more of a semi-square. It's still a rectangle, but it's less rectangle than other ones. So it is 1280 by 720. Ignore that sound. That's my cat turning up my chair. Hello. 1280 by 720. That's how it's going to be. So it is a rectangle, but it's a little less skinny than like some modern aspect ratios. It's more square. So we're gonna keep that in mind, but it won't be accurate because it is still a rectangle. Okay, so I know that I want the fairy on this side. I'm just gonna do a little pose here. It's good enough. And things we need to keep into account. Room for the wings. I'll actually do this in a different color. It helps me if stuff isn't all the same color. Room for the wings, because it'll be. I wanted you to be able to pick different wings. So, room for wings. Okay. But we also need to have room for our options on this side. So this side is going to have the UI. And I also want you to keep into account that I want to be able to get back to the main menu for this game. Because I don't want you to have to refresh the page if you want to make a different fairy. So we need to keep in mind stuff for that. So let's choose another color. Does this purple pen work? Yes. Okay. So I would like it to be naturey. I thought of a leaf, but the leaf kind of looks weird because you're out of room. But I was thinking maybe I'll just do like a piece of wood instead, so it's still kind of naturey, but not entirely. It'll have like a stick coming out of it or something. So this will be where we put our stuff, and then I guess we can put the menu button here. Okay. And then our options will be here. And I want to write out everything that I want to put in right now. I have some notes up in my document in Milanote, so let's pull that up and I'll be referencing it. And I'll probably put this stuff back into Milanote, but I think easier on paper, so not this one. I want the fairy fashion game. There we go. So flowers, sparkles, sparkle. Is it EL? I don't know if it's EL or EA. Spark. I'll just do E. L-E-S. Sparkles, flowers. Butterflies. Okay. So far, that's all I got. Okay, so we have a lot. I'm going to be doing a lot of art. It's going to be a lot. So this is... I'm going to like... Okay. Okay. Now, for eyes and mouth. The mouth will be getting different lip colors. And the eyes will also be getting different colors. So... Okay. So we're gonna do blocks down here to plan this out. So we have... For stuff that's gonna have colors that change, we're gonna do... Okay, so hair... And then put the colors here. Okay, and then skin. This will be... I thought about also changing the ears. So this is a maybe. It's a maybe. Hair. So you click on these arrows, then we have skin, you just pick the color, and then the wings. And you can pick the colors here too. So we're gonna just leave that here for something. But this is my planning out. And now I'm just gonna try and construct one of these. Just slightly, not fully. Just like a visualize it, see if I like it. We're gonna do... We'll do the clothes one, maybe? Now, let's do one of the ones that actually has the circles. So we'll do hair, skin, wings. Alrighty, so this video is getting long. So all of the stuff of me constructing all of this and stuff, we're cutting all of it. There's not really much to see anyway. It's just me sped up putting this together. I learned some things. For one, I originally did not have these leaves, which is fine for those colors, but you see how the skin tones get lost? So I decided, what if I try something like this? Like it's a palette, but it's also a leaf. Looks kind of like a lily pad, honestly, which is not what I was going for. Maybe I will go with some other idea, but yeah. I placeholdered all of this placeholders. And then I realized this is going to have some kind of tabs on the side. So that way you can go from hair, skin, wings, to clothes, to accessories. So I made some tabs. None of this stuff works, by the way. This is just staging, I guess you could call it. I figured out, because of the naming button system, I figured out I only need one button. Because this is both the same image, just one's flipped. The tabs will have to have tweens. This will have to either have tweens or at least change color when I have the official art. This seems like a good size for the fairy. Because like I said, I have to account for wings. So if I just like pull a leaf out here, right? And I just like make it super duper big here. Come on. Like you have to account for the wings on both sides. Like kind of like so, because some might be big and then some might be really small and they stick out that much instead of that much. So it's a whole thing to like account for. This should be a good enough size for a standing or straight up tall fairy. Also, there is a main menu button. I'm thinking I will keep it on the side. My main thing I'm not sure what to do is the keybinds. So in Bun Bun Bouquets, you can use keybinds to rotate your flowers, or in this case you can rotate whatever drag and drop stuff I have. So like say I want one of these flowers and I want it to be kind of twisted. I'm gonna like try and construct a flower crown onto the fairy. I have keybinds for that in Bun Bun Bouquets, and I want to do the same thing here. I also want to be able to resize them with keybinds. So I'm not sure where to put those instructions. Do I make like a little tab over here and you can like click on it, it comes out, it tells you, and you click on it and it comes back? Like, I'm not sure what to do with that one. Do I like have a tab here that just says this is how you play? That might be the easiest one to not be so intrusive. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, because I want everyone to be able to play and not have to lose their fairy to go into a how to play menu. So I might just have a how to play tab. I'm not sure. But I learned a lot when it comes to designing this. Since I want to be naturey, I have to be holding into account that colors will blend in. And that you can use the same button for everything. And that it needed tabs. I forgot completely about needing tabs. Yeah. So this was a lot. I got this here took me maybe like 30 minutes or so to put together, maybe longer. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is how far we are now. And I will be working on it some more. Hopefully I'll get 2 more devlogs out before the game's done. We'll see. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you learned something. I'm not sure. I'm not really a teacher. I don't know enough to be a teacher. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff, and hype me up if that applies to me. I don't actually know if that applies to me, but I keep saying it just in case it does. I need all the help I can get out here. And yeah, I will see you all later. I hope you have a good rest of your week. Bye!